we got an awesome video in store for you this evening. We have a pre-built. This is an ABS computer by Newegg, and we are going to go through we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to do some benchmarks. We'll go over the bloatware. We'll go over the ins and outs of everything that's included in this box, and we will talk about what you can upgrade and what you can't upgrade. Furthermore than that, guys, expect more unboxings like this coming from this channel. All right, guys, let's break open this box and see what's in store. So, of course, this is the ABS AL 587. And let's cut our box open. At least it looks like they did a good job of taping. I know some boxes they won't tape here and then the box will be like this. So I'll have to give Newegg 2 thumbs up for a course presentation. It does look like they bubble wrapped her too, which is a good sign. It's just not popping around in there. So we got some bubble wrap. Set that off to the side. Ooh, I wasn't expecting this. It looks like we got a generic gaming keyboard and mouse. We'll have to do a test on this to see how good this guy is. But that's a nice inclusion, and a mouse pad. So it does look like it does include that. Good job, Newegg. Came with some peripherals. Of course, go ahead and get the box out of the box. Oh. And there we go. So we got a box within a box. So it's like an unboxing within an unboxing. They did put more foam in the bottom of this box, or more bubble wrap. So there's 2 sheets of this, so they did have it sandwiched really nice. So at least you don't have to worry about shipping damage. Let's come here and cut our box again. And of course, this is an i5 in here. This is 11 Gen, 11400F. There's no onboard APU or GPU. It's a base clock of 2.6 gigahertz and it boosts to 4.4. It is 6-core, 12 threads, and it has 12 megabytes of L3 cache. Of course, there is 16 gigs of RAM in this thing, 8 gigabyte sticks, DDR3000. Hopefully nothing comes flying out at us. And there we go. Set that off to the side. Of course, we have an accessory kit. Let's see what's in our accessory kit. Of course, it's got the cool ABS logoing and their little trademark. It looks like it comes with the power cable. Some extra, 2 extra SATA cables if you need to hook up any hard drives. RGB power if your motherboard doesn't support it. Looks like 2 Wi-Fi antennas. Oh, there's even more in here. Driver CD and an overview of your motherboard. This is an overview of all your ports on your motherboard. So if you need to hook up anything or change anything, or you need to, locate something, this is nifty to have. I guess before we break into the computer, I want to take a look at this keyboard and mouse, if it's worthy. There's our mouse pad. It is decently thick. Of course, we have our mouse and our keyboard. Looks like we got a key puller. If you're wondering what this is so you can pull keys if you want to clean or change your keys. And they do sound mechanical. Yep, it is a mechanical keyboard. Look at that. Ooh, it's kind of neat with that silver. So I guess at least, I mean, they're on the cheaper side of peripherals, but at least they give you good gaming peripherals. Hopefully this is an adjustable mouse. The mouse feels very comfortable in my hand. It's got 2 extra buttons on the side. And it looks like, I don't know if there's a DPI control or a scroll. No buttons on this side. And that's our mouse. So let's go ahead and get our skirt off. Let's see what's underneath the hood of this bad mamma jamma on our ABS. First thing I'm noticing off the bat is the case does not look very straight. I will have to warn you, this is the second ABS computer that we've gone through. The first one was totally destroyed, and the box was in perfect condition. Take this panel off, set that off to the side, and pull this foam out. You do not want to run your computer with this foam. You will cook it. Toss that off to the side. So our first one, my heatsink was bent down to about here. The quick start guide does tell you how to plug in your antennas too in the back. I will kind of go over that stuff. I don't know if you can see that. There's a ginormous gap right here. This just could be from transit. If you look up here, there's ventilation for your fans. This will support up to DDR3200 XMP, and it'll support 4 sticks up to 128. So we got one USB 3.0, another 3.0, our reset switch, our power switch, power light, mic, and audio. And if we come around to the rear here, it does look like this might support vertical graphics cards. The top comes off really easy. You guys see that? And there's our top off. It does support radiators if you look here. We do have, I'm gonna say at least a 360 millimeter radiator support. And if we come to the rear here, we have 2 USB 2.0s, HDMI, and a display port that won't be utilized. We have a USB-C 10 gigabit port. We have another USB 3.12, 2 more USB 3.12s, a 10-1000 Ethernet Intel NIC, and then of course our Wi-Fi NIC, which has got dual Wi-Fi 6 capable NIC, our microphones, headset, and then auxiliary port. Of course, our 2060 does have a DVI-D port, HDMI port, and a display port for supporting up to 3 monitors at once. Of course, our sticker that says built by ENAC is great. Whoa, what is going on with our power supply here? I don't know if you guys could see that, but it's, yeah, it is not straight. And that does not look like shipping damage. That looks like, it looks like somebody just didn't take their time. Honestly, if any of you got this PC, I would tell you to RMA it ASAP. But of course, I'm trying to do a review video, so I'm trying to bring you guys content. And at this point, I would give this 2 thumbs up for gaming, but it's at 1 thumb right now because of this. Of course, if it came intact as a whole computer, I could give it 2 thumbs, but maybe 2.5. But yeah. So let's get to, so there is some trays right here for more hard drives or SSDs. These 2 guys right here. And then of course you got 2 more trays right here for 2 more SSDs. This motherboard will support up to 6 either spinning disks or SSDs. There is an Intel 660p 512 gigabyte M.2 NVMe. That's what the boot drive is on here. And then of course our top 16x port where our graphics card is plugged in is a 4.0 16x port. And the rest of these 16x ports will only run at 1x, which is kind of weird, but they're only 1x 3.0. And this is an EVGA 2060 KL Ultra Gaming 6 gigabyte. This is a Thermaltake Gold 600 watt power supply. Of course, the case is a McCube Deep Cool 310. The portion of this case, I'm not very happy with it. The lines don't line up, and of course, kind of reminds me of Thermaltake cases when you get them and the power supply looks like that. And I don't know if this just happened from transit or what. Another thing I'm gonna say right off the bat is it only includes 1 fan right here. I'm gonna have to say that one of the first things you're gonna wanna upgrade is you're gonna wanna either get 2 more and fill this up, or get rid of this Deep Cool fan and maybe look at some Noctuas or Antec. I'm gonna have to say make the best fans. These are 120 millimeter fans that go in the front. And you can fit either 3 120s or you can fit 2 140s. So this motherboard is a Gigabyte B560. From looking at it, there looks like there is an extra fan header on here. ARGB on this cooler around the top and on the fan. Because I want to show you guys some measurements. So of course, for our GPU, we are looking at, it's about 15 1/8. Height-wise, usable case space is 14 inches, and heatsink, you're looking at about 6 1/8. 6 inches and 1/8. And of course, GPU height doesn't really matter. But if you did have a card that's a little bit higher, you get at least 1 inch of space from your heatsink. And of course, you could put 3 or 4 slot cards in there if you needed to. One thing I do see is they did include another 8-pin or 6+2 pin right here that is zip tied. So if you want to upgrade the graphics card really quick, or if you're looking to upgrade past the 2060. All right, guys. So if you want to take this GPU out, you're going to have to hit the lock right here. And of course, you're going to need like an iFixit kit or something. A screw in the rear, just a normal Phillips number 2. There's our screw right there. That whole thing will come off. Put your screw off to the side. And then of course, we got 2 screws right here. Then we're going to reach in and try to grab towards the bottom of the card. We can't. So we're gonna have to do a squeeze. So squeeze right here, and that's our card out. Of course, I won't show you guys reinstalling it, because of course it's the same thing as it is coming out as going in. Just make sure when you reinstall it, if you do that, this snaps up. If you don't hear this snap, you can come in here and pull it forward. So extra fan header right there. Then our 2 extra USB 2.0s right there. Our M.2 slot, the extra one is right here. Our SATA ports. Our 1, 2 is right here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there we got a 3-pin ARGB. We come across the top, we don't have any extra fans, but we do got a bunch of extra 16X slots. There's our M.2, our Intel 512 gig M.2s right here. They also have the 60 and 80, and this bottom slot looks like it only takes 60s and 80s. This bottom slot is PCI 3.0 only. The top one is 4.0. Of course, if you're wondering what this big square thing right here is, this is your chipset heat plate. Now if we come around to the rear, I just want to show you really quick how to install your antennas. Just go ahead and twist them on there, kind of snug them up, and these will twist on here, and there's a little break thing that you can break them up. I do want to see if it came with any extra cables with the power supply really quick. It does look like we have some extra Molex and some SATAs. It looks like we got 4 extra SATAs and 4 extra Molex. So if you wanted to power these guys, you have the power to do that. It does look like we have a fan controller up here, and it has 2 more fan slots open for you guys. And that looks like that's it. They did Velcro this, and twisty tie it, so they at least kind of did a halfway decent job. Case quality, I'm at about a quarter of a thumb. I'm not happy with this case. Of course, it will get the job done, but that's what it is. Careful about grabbing that top like that. And yeah, we're gonna get Windows loaded. Couple quick things about Windows. If you're wondering, you're watching this video like, hey, what do I do? Just follow the prompts. And if it asks you to install any software, just hit decline or no, and just continue on there. It's gonna make you sign in. It's a lot easier if you sign in with a Microsoft account instead of making a local account. You can do that, but of course it's tomato. Last but not least, y'all. First off, make sure our antennas aren't going to hit. Let's look at the bottom of the case. Looks like we have a fan screen that will protect it from dust. There we go. That's for the intake of the power supply to try to keep it clean. We do have decent sized feet to allow airflow into the power supply. And if you're wondering what this window right here is, this is for, whoa. What the f? Yes, guys, this case is total junk. It's junk. If you guys are wondering why there's a window right here, there are power supplies that have readouts on the side and some ARGB and RGB stuff. One thing you're gonna wanna do before you even boot your computer up is you're gonna wanna check all your cables, because in shipping they can come loose. So the main ones you wanna check is gonna be this guy right here. So if you can see my red laser, it's a 6+2 pin PCIe. You're going to want to check your front panel connectors right here, and then moving our way up, you want to check your 24 pin connector, make sure it's seated all the way. Check your fans, like this one right here, and the CPU fan up top, and then up very, very top up here, right there is a EPS connector, and then down here your HD audio, and that's going to be about it. All right, guys, I'm going to get this thing booted up, and then we're going to take a look under the hood and see what type of bloatware we have, and then let's see what our benchmark score is. Hey, Nitwittians, I know I said I was going to bring the benchmark up, and I know that's what I said I did next. Off camera, we brought the benchmark up, and I had it running just so you guys didn't have to suffer through it. But I noticed something when I popped open Task Manager, and this is supposed to be 3000 megahertz RAM, 2x8. And I'm showing 2066, so I'm like, I'm guessing XMP is not enabled in the BIOS. So I guess I'm going to show my viewers really quick how to enable XMP. So with the computer totally off, turn your computer on, hit power, keep tapping the delete key while, it's booting. And eventually it'll say, hey, I'm booting into BIOS, then you can stop clicking it. And then we're going to jump over to on screen here. Once you get in the BIOS, you're going to want to hit advanced and then tweaker. And it's got clock ratio, advanced CPU setup, extreme memory profile disabled. So we want to go and click on this guy and do profile 1. There we go. Go ahead and hit enter or left click it, and our speed is set to DDR 3000, 16, 18, 18, 36. If that looks correct, come over to the right here, hit save and exit. Go ahead and confirm it. You got your memory set to 3000 megahertz. All right, guys, we are going to jump over to the on-screen really quick and take a look at our benchmark. So if we look here, our overall score was 7,347. Of course, this is Time Spy. This was Time Spy DirectX 12 non-extreme. Our graphics score was 7,360. Our CPU score was 7,280. And then, of course, if we look at Red Dead Redemption on 1440p is less than 30 frames per second. Fortnite, 80 frames per second. GTA 5, 45 frames per second. Apex Legends, 85 plus. And Battlefield 5, we're looking at 75 frames per second plus. Of course, our first GPU score was 47.59, and our second was 42.51. And then, of course, there is an FPS score on the CPU that tests it last. That's 24.46, and that's where we stand. One thing I am going to say is if you're doing gaming or video editing or anything like that, 512 is really not enough. Of course, it'll let you get 2, 3, 4 games on there, maybe even 5, and then it's going to get really full. So the first upgrade I'm going to suggest doing with this guy is definitely going to be putting like an SSD if you can afford it, and then maybe an HDD, you know, spinny disk. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this case. It doesn't fully line up. I don't know if that's just how Newegg got them and shipped them out or whatever, but I would say, in my opinion, should you buy this? Yes, it's a cheap computer. It comes with an RTX 2060. It comes with an i5 6-core 12-thread processor. It's awesome for gaming. Even doing 2K and 4K video editing, it'll definitely do it. If you're going to be doing a lot of 4K video editing, you're going to want to look at getting a video card upgrade. And if you're going to do video editing, you're going to want to look at doing RAM upgrade. Definitely. Doesn't matter the computer. Start doing video editing, you're going to start like 32, and 64 is going to be that sweet spot. All right, guys, so I give this computer 2 thumbs up overall rating. In its current condition, I'm going to give it 0.5. If I wasn't doing this review and this is a computer I was going to have to rely on, I could guarantee you I'd be sending it back to Newegg and complaining with how that power supply has been. You did a good job with the overall build and setup. Bloatware. That's another thing I got to talk to you guys about. Bloatware. I was very surprised not to find any on here. And the only other really thing I'm not happy about is how the ABS sticker on here is crooked. It's like, come on, guys. Like, what was it, a Friday? You know, are you looking at my thumbnails and you're half drunk? So, anyways, yes, guys, that's where I stand with this. If you're looking at buying this thing, do it. It's worth it. Even the other configurations, ABS does make a good computer. Other than that, guys, this is a Tech Nitwit Productions. I'm Tech Nitwit. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you dislike, go ahead and dislike, but at least throw a comment down below and say, hey, this is why I dislike, because you're funny looking. But throw it down in there, and I'll try to get back to you. I usually try to get back to everybody, because all of my subscribers matter, and you guys matter. So, you know, I'm out, y'all. Have a good evening.